Basically, my goal for today, this is going to be more like a note-taking type of deal to where if you guys want to take notes, you should, because you're going to learn a lot of stuff that are good. And basically, this is not like one of those motivational talk that it's for me to like motivate you guys to like do something super crazy or like out of the way. But it's all informational, and I hope you guys learn something because basically, self-talk, we all know it, we all do it. Whether it be like in your brain, there's always words that's in your brain, or whether it be you're actually talking to yourself out loud. But basically, what your brain is kind of like a computer, like a data, like gathering data. And it doesn't know if it's true or if it's not true. It just believes with whatever it is you say. So you guys, like the exercise that we did earlier, the icebreaker, you guys ever had that where you just tell yourself like you're stupid? You tell yourself like you're dumb. You tell yourself like you're awkward. Like, oh, I'm so awkward. I'm so bad with girls. Mainly talking about myself here. I'm so not funny, and like I'm just a bad test taker, or like I get low grades, or I'm weird. And then you'll realize if you start telling yourself that, you're only looking for things that makes those things true. Like if you tell yourself you're a bad test taker, and then you get an F on an exam, you'd be like, oh, proved it, I'm just a bad test taker, right? And you disregard all the things that you did well at. Like you probably had a test, like a few tests you actually did well, like you actually did like get an A on it. But you disregard all those things because you're focusing on what you tell yourself the most. So my goal for today is for you to be aware of that. And if you're not, or if you already are aware of that, is to take actions to actually coach yourself, to teach yourself, to talk to yourself better. Does that make sense? Cool. So you guys want to live like a better life, like a better, way to tell yourself that you're actually worth it, that you actually are good enough, that you can do whatever it is you want to do as long as you set your mind to it. All you need is a really good self-talk, like a positive data to put in your computer so that you could actually flourish. Does that make sense? Cool. So just to start off with this quote, basically this one is really cool. I really liked it. Watch out for your thoughts because your thoughts becomes words. Watch out for your words because your words becomes actions. And watch out for your actions because your actions becomes habits. And watch out for your habits because your habits become your character. And watch out for your characters because your characters becomes your destiny. So it all starts right here. If you guys remember way back when, in the 1920s, like people thought no one would ever like be on the moon, or invent a computer or whatever. If you keep telling yourself that, that's probably not going to happen. But someone didn't think of it that way, and then we did it. We walked on the moon in 1969. There's going to be stuff out there in the future that we thought today, like right now, is crazy and ridiculous. But it's going to be invented because someone kind of like coached themselves and taught themselves like, hey, this is possible. I see it, and it will happen. But that starts right here. Like you kind of have to plant that seed in your brain, kind of like Inception. I know it's like really like deep stuff, but so basically, that's what I want you guys to like keep in your mind. Like your thoughts are very important. You could use it against you, which most of us do, because 77% of thoughts are negative. Or you could use it to work for you. So you actually do the things that you want to do or set yourself out to do. And basically, there's 5 levels of self-talk. The first 2 are like the negative ones, which is majority of us has, and the next 3 are like the good ones, which is the one I'll focus about. But in order for me, like before I even go to like the 5 levels of self-talk, I want to give you guys like the things that has to happen for you guys to kind of be aware of that and make actions. So the first one, you guys ever been to like a motivational talk? Ever before, like, or watch TED Talks? If you watch it, right after you watch it, you're like, man, I could do anything in the world. Like, this is awesome. This is great. Or if you watch like a really great movie, you want to be like that guy automatically. Like, every time I watch Hitch, I'm just like, man, I want to be Will Smith. I want to be Alex Hitchens, just like talking to girls, saying all those lines, connecting with them. It's just like, it's awesome. But what usually happens afterwards, you guys could talk, this is, after you left that high.
You try to do it and then it doesn't happen the way it's supposed to be, so then you lower your own self-esteem.
Yeah, you just stop, right? Like you go back to your old habits, right? Because basically self-talk or self-motivation or motivational quotes or motivation videos, if you watch those are great. But those only last so long. Yeah, Lily, you're engaged. Yeah, it's kind of like taking a shower, or it's kind of like motivation doesn't last that long. That's why it's kind of like germs. That's why we ask you to like take a shower daily. So you kind of like need it. So you have to like keep enforcing yourself. So, and this is kind of like a weird analogy for all you guys like a twisted mind out there, but motivation is kind of like crack. Like it gives you a really good high in the beginning, and then once you're kind of like out of it, you wanted more of it to get the same feeling. So, I mean, I'm not saying like you shouldn't, like watch motivation or whatever, motivational videos or something like a self-help book for you, but be aware that all the things in there could work and do work, but you have to do it consistently. You have to do it over and over, because it doesn't just motivate you and then expect it to work right away. So you have to keep doing it. Does that make sense? So just kind of like a heads up, like motivational videos are great, it's awesome, but most of the time, 90% of us, after we're done with that high, can just like go back to the things that we've always done. So the second part too is actually knowing how the brain works. There's tons of studies out there that's been done, and then even now, like the field of psychology is still only about like 60, 70 years old, so it's still kind of new. So we still don't know a whole lot about our brain, and we're still continuing to learn. But basically, for your brain, in order for it to work with you, it has to be simple. It has to be step by step, easy to follow. It has to be simple. If things are too complicated, it doesn't matter. You guys ever do math? Like, if you don't get the simplicity of it, you're just like, man, this is like Chinese characters in here. I just don't understand it. Right? You ever like hear or see those commercials about like getting fit, like the P90X, all those stuff? They always say 6 simple steps for you to like lose 10 pounds. Because if it's not simple, you're not going to do it. So you have to coach your brain to realize that all the things you got to do has to be simple, has to be easily replicated. Because if it's too complicated, it does not work, and it will not work, because our brain is lazy. Or you're just lazy, I don't know. Could be the two. Does that make sense? So the third part of it is that one that actually works, is a step-by-step format of how to talk to yourself. Because, like I said in the beginning, talking to yourself, your brain don't know what's wrong or don't know what's right. Don't know what's true, don't know what's not. So if you coach yourself to tell yourself what you should and want to hear and want to become, then that's where success happens. But like I said, you have to do that daily. Does that make sense? And then this is kind of like the fun part, because I'm actually going to write this down, because I truly believe that this is something you guys should write and then know about, is the 5 levels of self-talk. So the first one is the lowest level. They call it level 1, which is the victim / scarcity talk. So this is majority of us think. Can you guys think of any like way of self-talk of how you say to that, or how this might look?
Like self-pity?
Yeah, like what I was talking about earlier. Oh, I just can't dance.
Like, why
Why me? Like, I'm just a horrible person, or I'm just like a sad person. I suck. All those things, like that I can't, I'm not, I can't sell books because, I don't know, like it's hard. Or I'm not a people person. I'm not good with girls. Just talking about me again. I'm shy, or all those things. Those are the things that fills out our brain. That's why our what's that called? Icebreakers are like that. We could easily think of all the things that we're not, or that we can't. But we could only remember a few things that we are, or that we can do. Does that make sense? So those are the level 1. It's just like all the things that we shouldn't do, all the things that we can't do. Told you I'm so stupid. Just can't pass that class. So that's that. And this is bad. Don't do this. The second one is the level 2, which is it has a good intent, but it offers 0 solution, which is conditional statement. So for the level 1, your self-talk is, I'm terrible with girls. The level 2, it's kind of better. I'm with you, Jason, so I'm not like picking on you or anything. The level 2 is a conditional statement. So it's a little bit better, but offers no solution. So if level 1 is like, I'm terrible with girls, level 2 is like, I'll be good with girls if I'm taller, or if I'm more good looking, if I have more money, all those things. Like, it's offering it's like, your intention is good. Like, if your first level is like, I'm not good at test taking, your second level is, I should study for this test. But what usually happens? There's always a but. Like, I'm good with girls, or I could be good with girls, but I'm not tall. But I don't have money. I'm like, I should study for this test, but I'm too busy. But I'm too bored, or I'm too bored. Or, but I'm lazy. So it offers no solution. The intention is good, but offers no solution. Does that make sense? Like, you have good intentions. You want to be better a person, but you offer no solution for it. So the third one, then this is like the next one, level 3, where we actually start getting better. So this is actually positive, which is the defining action. So I'm going to go with the girls again. It's just so cool. If your level 1 self-talk is, I'm terrible with girls, your level 2 self-talk is, I'm good at girls if blah, 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 or but I'm not, this is this. So your level 3 self-talk is that I will talk to girls. Does that make sense? You make a plan of action to get over your fear. So for studying, it's like, I'm bad at test taking. I should study, but I'm not going to. Third levels, I will study at this time, at this hour. So you focus on something that you can control and make a plan for it. Does that make sense? Is this like helping you guys?
It's like it builds up to something.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like instead of saying I need to do my homework, you say I will do my homework at 3 o'clock. Instead of saying I'm bad with girls, I will talk to the next girl I see, regardless of the outcome. Totally encourage that for anyone. Or if you're a girl, then I don't know, talk to a guy. And then you keep your word for it. And then that makes you feel a lot better about yourself because you'll do the says you'll do. And it gives you confidence about yourself. So it makes you feel good. So this is actually a good thing. Level 3 is great. We should stay at this level because it's awesome. And then the fourth level is the level 4, which is the I am statement. So this is actually the better part of it. Like you're kind of like you're not a newbie anymore or a noob. You actually know yourself, and then you're actually doing well if you're at this level. It's the I am statements. So if your level 1 self-talk is, I'm a bad test taker, again, I'm gonna like ram you guys with all these things because it will like be in your brain by the time you'll know like all these things. The second one is, I should study, but blah, 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 which is the things we don't focus on. The third one is, like, I will study at 3 p.m. no matter what, right? And then the fourth one is, I'm a good student. Like, you tell yourself, I am a good student. Meaning, if you tell yourself you're a good student, your brain will believe that, and then your brain will do whatever a good student does. Like, I'm a good student, so it's normal for me to study regardless of, like, what time it is. I'm a good person, so it's normal for me to not steal anything. I'm a good person, so it's normal for me to not kill people. If you say, like, I'm good with girls, then it's normal for you to, like, actually talk to girls. Like, you know what I mean? So everything you do is aligned with what you tell your brain. And it's fun. You know, because if you tell yourself I'm a successful person, even though it's probably not true right now for society's standard, your brain will find a way to make that true. Does that make sense? So if you keep telling yourself all these positive things, you keep telling your brain all these like positive things, then like it doesn't happen overnight, but essentially eventually it will happen. You guys ever had that? You probably had some like different experiences along the way. Like I don't know, like when you're in high school, you told yourself like, I'll be this person, like you set a goal. And then throughout the years, you're probably like closer to that goal. Like when you're in high school, you're probably saying to yourself like, yeah, I'll go to college. I'm going to college because I'm college bound. And here you guys are now. Because it's just normal for you to go to college. You know what I mean? And and the negative of that, like say level 1 self-talk is that, yeah, I'm not this, I'm not that. Like you probably had, like some of you guys are probably good dancers in here, but doesn't dance because someone, when you were a little kid, told you that you can't or made fun of you. And it's really unfortunate because there could be other people out there that could be really, really good, but then listen to what other people are saying and just kind of like told that over and over about themselves that they're bad at this, bad at that, instead of focusing on all the things that you can do. Because you guys are all strong and powerful beyond measure. You know? You just have to keep telling yourself that. And if you don't, then yeah, you're probably going to be like not much of a person because you keep telling yourself you're a failure. But if you don't tell yourself that, you tell yourself that you're successful, look what could happen. Like, just try it. Yeah, you're going to fail over and over, but stand back up anyway. What do you got to lose? Right? So that's kind of like my goal for you guys, because this whole level of self-talk, like I said, it's not going to work if you guys don't act on it. If you guys don't set up a plan. And it's hard. It's difficult. But it'll be worth it. You know what I mean? So we try to stay in these levels. And then the level 5 is even like the best one, which is like really deep, conceptual, like even deeper than Inception. It's called connecting with others. This is when you're just like in the zone, like you're kind of like one with the world. That's like a really deep concept. Instead of saying I am, it is. Like it just is. Like the rock exists because it just does. You don't question it. It just happens. It's kind of like, you know, it could be religious. I don't know if you guys are religious here, but everything just happens because it just is. There's no reason behind it.
So is that the neutral one? Or?
Like without a doubt.
Yeah, without a doubt. So if you're on that level, you're like on the highest, like high. Like you just don't question anything. You're in the zone. You're just like, I'm just successful because it just is. Like it's meant to be.
But can it also be negative? So like, oh, I'm...
Well, if that's negative, then it could be here. It's going to be here.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? You know, you don't see any problems in things, they're just solutions. Like nothing seems to phase you. All the things that could go wrong already did, so it just like gets better from here. So you're like a bigger person. I don't know if you guys were here in Lester Craftson's talk. Like I really like this one. He like drew, your problem is like a set amount, right? But then what you are as a person is the one that changes. So when you're in kindergarten, you're like not being able to like write is probably like a big problem because you're still here. But then you learn that. When you're in high school, like everything seems like a test could be like a big problem. But then you grow out of that, so you become this person. So every problem you have has a set amount. It doesn't change. You do. It's your decision to be the better person or the bigger person to tackle that challenge or to let it control you. So yeah, and yeah, basically I hope this helps. Like I said, my goal is to, if you guys aren't aware of this, is to be aware of it. And if you guys already are, then take action to actually change these things. That's my main goal. It's not inspiring. It's actually kind of textbooky because I actually wrote something down because I want you guys to learn this stuff because it's really important. It's something that I truly believed in. It's something that I read the book. It's not inspiring at all. It's by What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter. And he actually debunked that. Like, it shouldn't be inspiring because those things just get you on a high. And then after that, you just do your own thing, like what you've always done. Because if you always think what you always thought, you always do what you always done, and you always get what you always got. Right? So, yeah, keep that in mind. It takes like a different mentality to change things. And that's where growth happens. So, yeah, I hope this helps. And yeah.